Welcome to Authentic Online Marketing with Ruthie Gray. Growing awareness for your blog, podcast, book, or product involves more than dancing to reels and yelling, "Buy my thing." This show models quality over clamor so you can put your spin on your message and market in a way that feels authentic to you, because nobody wants to sound like an infomercial. And now, here's your host, Ruthie Gray.
One of the first things they tell you in blogging school is to develop an email list. From day one, start an email list. In any kind of online presence that you want to develop, whether it be a podcast or perhaps you're writing a book and you want to promote that, or you are developing a business, fleshing it out, you need a newsletter. And they always say, experts always say, that's who they are. Start yesterday. Now, I didn't quite believe this because I didn't really know that anyone would actually want to read my newsletter. But the day I started, I wished I had started yesterday. So on Instagram, many of my clients and members, when we start looking at their bio, and I look at their link in bio, like we talked about a few episodes ago, 7 link in bio solutions for email list building. We talked about how important it is to have one of those links pointing to your newsletter. So what I was saying was, when I go to assess their bio, a lot of them do not even have a newsletter or an opt-in for that newsletter. So last week, we talked with Sarah Geringer about how to create targeted opt-ins that get readers on your newsletter. So you'll want to go back to that episode 50, and listen to that. And then episode 49 for the link in bio suggestions. But today, we need to talk about how to write newsletters they really want to read, because that's what you want, right? You don't want a flat open rate. So open rates vary, but experts say that a good number is 25% or more. Now, some of the suggestions and ideas I'm going to share with you today are from my own newsletter, which has usually anywhere between 25 and 37% open rate, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. I feel like I am speaking to my reader's pain point, and it just takes the conversation deeper off of social media and anywhere else. You own your own email list, so you can write them whenever you want, and you can have a personal connection with them. And we're going to talk about today how to write emails they actually want to read. This is something I love doing. One of my favorite tasks is writing newsletters. It just jams me up. I don't know if jams me up is even a term, but I am a writer. I have always loved to write. And this helps me continue to hone that skill. So without further ado, let's talk about 5 ways to get your newsletter opened. Number 1, start with a pain point. What is it that your avatar struggles with? How do you want to help her? Know what your main point will be in that email. One main reason that you're writing. Target it, maybe do a mind map or something like that, or write down suggestions of things that you want to talk about. Do market research. When you write your emails, ask them to hit reply with their biggest struggles or struggle and see what you come up with. You can learn a lot from this, and you can poll your audiences too. I do this all the time in Instagram stories, polling my audience on pain points, struggles, and successes so that I can make sure that I am delivering value to my target audience, that I am actually speaking to their pain point and what they need to know about, and not just what I want to write. It's not about you in these emails. It's not about your family. It's not about what you had for dinner last night or where you like to go to eat breakfast out or, your favorite beach. Those can be woven in. Absolutely, yes, indeed. That's part of storytelling, which I love doing, and I do that. But really, remember, your reader is the star of your email. So, start with a pain point. Then, start writing. Just start writing full on. One day, sit down and just write what's in your mind, what's on your mind. And don't edit, just write messy and try to block off maybe even a certain time every day to do this so that you're not pressed for time on the day that you need to send the email. So just start writing, be messy, and then go away from it. And then come back the next day or several hours later and read it again and read it out loud. That will help you so much to figure out what needs edited out, where the extra words are, where you repeated yourself, what is not necessary. So first, just writing without editing will help you get it out on paper. And then coming back and reading it with fresh eyes will help you see what you should leave out and what actually sounds good. Number 3, make a great title. You must craft a stellar title. Experts say you really should hone and brainstorm about 20 headlines. It's true. And it seems like a waste of time, but let me tell you, the headline makes all the difference as to whether they're going to open or not because everyone's busy. Think about it. You get so many emails every day, hundreds of emails in a week even. So you have to choose and pick which ones are really going to be open and which ones aren't. And honestly, I go by the headline. What does the headline say? Is it catchy? Does it speak to me? Does it seem like something I want to read? It needs to be about your topic, and that needs to be about a pain point, which we've already said. So craft a stellar headline. So here are some of my stellar headlines that have had high open rates, 34 to 37% opening rates. Here's one. 1 month of content with this quick tip. The only Reels training you need. Bracket, new release in capital letters. Why overthinking can be good for your biz. 1 follower you don't need. These are all top performing headlines for me. And let me tell you, I have been crafting not only my writing skill, but my headline skill for years to get this open rate. So you want to spend time on it, and I'm going to give you 2 resources for crafting your headlines. So the first one is Co-Schedule Headline Analyzer. That you will have to sign up for their newsletter, but it's worth it. They'll give you power words and pain point words. It's really good. So that is one, and I'll link these in the show notes. And the other one is headlinesShareThrough.com. Both of these will help you craft a better headline, and it will help you walk you through what are good words and what are better words. So do that. Number 4, be consistent. Okay, so you could write a newsletter on a Thursday and then wait for 5 weeks and write another one on a Friday, and then wait the next week and write one on a Monday. But people do not understand when you have no rhyme or reason. It's just like posting on Instagram. I always say be consistent. It's good to post at the same time on the same days because the algorithm reads that. Well, your readers feel the same way. You must be consistent. So my advice is to pick a day that is good for you, 1 day a week. Experts say usually the middle days of the week are the best for getting readers to open the email, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Pick one of those days and decide, are you going to write once a month? Are you going to write once every 2 weeks? Are you going to write once a week? Are you going to write more than that? If you're just starting to get a rhythm to this, then less is better as far as trying to work up to consistency. So I would say start with once a month or once every other week if you're first starting. But be consistent because your people will be looking for those newsletters after a while. Number 5, hone your writing craft. Like I said, I've been writing all my life from first grade, once upon a time to happily ever after type of stories, to when I wrote a column when my kids were growing up in the local newspaper. The early stages of blogging was Blogspot and WordPress.com, my mountain biking adventures, and then it transitioned to Live, Laugh, Love with Ruthie Gray over on Blogspot. And then I've talked about this before in my episode on pivoting, all the different blogs and names I went through, and now it's ruthiegray.mom. And over at ruthiegray.mom, I have over 700 blog posts. When I read some of the early ones, I cringe. I really do. You know, it's like I did so many, and we've got the 2 types of people in the world about marriage and my parents' top 10 tips for staying married 50 plus years. And then I did a series one time, 31-day series on 31 hats moms wear. And then I did several on the truth about launching our kids. And the latter ones are way better than the former ones. And you never stop honing your writing skill. The more you do this, the better you get. And the more you fall in love with the process. So start writing and keep writing and hone your craft. And I have a suggestion for you. It's perfect because this helped me hone mine. It's a free sticky blogging workshop. It's a 1-hour live event by Kelly Holmes of the Sticky Blogging courses. And the woman has taught me how to write newsletters that my subscribers can't wait to read. I've learned how to deliver value, and I've learned how to pull the eye along, how to storytell, and just how to get my readers invested so that they don't delete my emails or report them to spam. They actually want my emails. So check that out. It's Sticky Blogging Workshop, and there's no cost. And you can get that and sign up for it right now this week. I will put the link in the show notes. So to recap, to write newsletters your people want to read, start with a pain point, subject. Know what you're going to write about. Have that as your central idea. Number 2, just start writing without editing. Just do it. Write messy. Number 3, make a great title. Spend time crafting it so that all of your writing time is not wasted. Number 4, be consistent. Same-ish days per week, month, whatever. And number 5, hone that writing craft and check out Kelly Holmes' free sticky blogging workshop. Y'all, I love email, and I want to see you fall in love with it too. Email is the one thing we own that is not Instagram, not Facebook, not Twitter, not Clubhouse, not Pinterest, and we all know those can dive on any day of the week. But your email can remain consistent because it depends on you. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much. If you found value here, would you share the podcast and tag me on Instagram? I would love that. If you feel so led, tap the 5 stars and leave a review, and I will share it in my stories on Instagram. We love our listeners. We love hearing from you, and I love doing this podcast every week. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week and go write.